Greetings, YouTube. I'm laughing to start this off, which is not professional. But I am looking at Sauron, and he looks like a happy dinosaur. He looks like he's like a Muppet. What up, Muppet? Maybe I should just start calling him the Dinosaur Muppet. We landed on the Dinosaur Muppet, everybody. This Dinosaur Muppet is a rank 3 Awakened 6-star. And Romero23 hit me up at like 3 a.m. And because I couldn't sleep, I saw his messages. All of this is starting like a cry for help versus like a good YouTube video. But point being, I'm on vacation, and somebody says I got a rank 3 Sauron. And I'm saying, wow, you took Sauron to rank 3? Really? Because if you've got Nimgod or Warlock or even like Lady D, he's not the best defender. And I actually like taking on Hercules against him because sometimes with the unblockable, I'll let him hit me. And yeah, I'll lose a little bit of health, but that third feat of strength between that, the intercept, and the heavy is worth the loss of health to me because I'll finish the fight faster. And so that is worth it to me. So I actually get excited, and I know it sounds weird, I get excited to play Sauron in Battlegrounds because I think I've just mastered the timing of dexing a special one. And also, I've got enough good champs in my Battlegrounds deck to counter him. But I've never really given him a thought to offensive production. I don't really know how to use Sauron. Like when somebody says, hey, Prof, how do I use Sauron? My brain literally goes blank. Now, I'm a YouTuber who's admitting I don't know how to use a champion very well. And that can be scary because for some reason, people watch YouTubers and think that they have to be experts at everything to justify a channel. I think the reason why my channel still exists is because people know I'm not an expert at everything, and I'm not afraid to recognize and acknowledge my many blind spots in this game and in this community. I'm also not afraid to be wrong if I say that there's a good value on something, and then I see somebody say, well, actually, this value was better for me than it would have been that you thought it would, like with the piggy bank in the past week. So, my man decided to send over some gameplay, which I very much appreciate, is unique, maybe the first to YouTube, and he said no synergies, and I don't even think there's any boosts in this fight. And he's starting out with a 10,000 crit, which is pretty impressive. Also, the degen damage is impressive. I forgot that he even had that. The unblockable he can take advantage of. Again, normally I'm used to seeing unblockable with defense, not offense. We will also see if he's got those full recoil masteries on right now. It doesn't appear that he does, but we won't know for sure until he fires a special. All right, here's the special. No. So no recoil damage, and he's still just melting Winter Soldier, and all he's doing is combos and then a special too. So Sauron appears to be a champion that does not take a high amount of learning curve. And I know Kabam is look at that regen too. Wow. He got hit with the special one and didn't lose any health. Rank 3 Sauron is a revelation. He's a tank that also melts the defender. That's the best kind of champion you want. And look, I could be embarrassed, ignorant of this champion. And I think life is more fun when you admit your faults and allow yourself to grow and learn. And that's why I'm not a big fan of cancel culture, because if you cancel someone for the first huge public mistake that they make, now if they brag about it and they're not apologetic, that's a different story. But if you have somebody who's just trying to grow, you can't grow if you can't make mistakes. And that's why I've tried my best to not make the same mistakes on YouTube, even though I realize that I'm now leaning into the biggest meme of my channel, which is that the economy of the game has changed forever. And it changes forever about 6 times a year. So I still, I have no shame in leaning into that. All right, here's a special 3. We haven't seen this before in this back-to-back fights. So the degen damage is 10,475 per tick. Are you kidding me? Talk about a degenerate with some degen damage. Wow. I think the title of this video has to be, he's a revelation. because I didn't know he could do these things. And maybe I'm the only... But chances are, mathematically, and I know it's just Realm of Legends. It's the standard test. It's not like he's melting Necropolis. Or somebody else didn't know. Now we've got a full synergy team. And maybe that synergy team is going to make this even faster. The heavy applying the weakness and then going in for a combo to get so many crits, not a great strategy against Ebony Coleslaw. But that's something I never knew about. Bleed damage on a block, didn't know about that. And it's good bleed damage. It's like Nick Fury style bleed damage. All right, no weakness there. There's the weakness and the special 2 with the weakness for more crits. And look at the crit rating mixed with the yellows. And that wasn't even a huge amount of damage. But he's just a tank. And again, I know it's Realm of Legends, so it's not like he's going to get hit by a bunch of crazy specials. But look, he tanked a special 2 to the face. I mean, this champion is made for survivability, and he's not going to be the fastest KO. He's not going to do the biggest yellow numbers. But if you just want like a champion you're not going to have to use any revives for, and you're good with, again, Revelation. Which, if you're a Revelation, that means you're a testament, to a tank. And yes, that pun was, as always, intended. There are a few people who watch my channel who say they only watch it for the puns. And I think you all might have some kind of lovely, my students would say illness. I don't think it's an illness. I think it's just a quirk. But I appreciate it so much because it gives me the green light to not be afraid to make puns. 55,000 in that last crit, by the way. That's amazing. Wow. Okay, so my analysis to end this is that rank 3 6-star Sauron is absolutely the best champion that you can take up if you get a mutant crystal gem for sure. Like if you complete Necropolis and you get the class base. And look, you've got Bishop, you've got Domino, and I would still put those 2 ahead of Sauron. But if you were to tell me I like Sauron more than Bishop and Domino, part of me would be skeptical, but another part of me would give you respect. Because if you like a tanky champ that's going to absorb specials without losing a bunch of health, and you can master that weakness, degen, melting utility, you've got a champion that you can feel good about heading into a lot of tricky fights. And maybe even some unique fights in Battlegrounds that you can use him as an attacker when he's not a good defender with the counters I just mentioned against him. But he's also one of those champions that you can feel cocky against. Maybe it's just me again who's willing to admit this. There are champions I'll fight where I'll think, oh, I can fight this champ in my sleep. And I get lazy, and I get cocky, and then I get wrecked. So, in this case, Sauron, Romero. I want to call you Romeo, but technically you're Romero. Romero 23. Thank you, Romeo/Romero. You, ironically, made me feel like you were Romeo because I fell in love with Sauron after watching this gameplay.